He thanks her for the cup of water. It was quite a hot day today. Curiously, he asks her what could she possibly be doing with her hands. With two gentle fingers pressed on the rim of the cup, she reveals that it's his mouth. With a teasing tone, she asks him what day it is today, but he is unable to answer, his mouth shut by some invisible force. It's Thursday, he answers, finally opening his mouth again. He's astonished, wondering if that trick was hypnotism again. Suddenly Koton takes the cup to her mouth, causing him to blush. She wonders what could possibly be the matter, only for him to explain that the cup was his mouth. Hearing back his words out loud left him even more embarrassed. The cup is just a regular cup after all. He was being ridiculous. She begins to explain that the mind has a facility to subconsciously link itself with an array of external stimuli. Just one of the many things Koton has learned while researching hypnosis. I already know that, Suzu says, opening the door, Chiaki right behind her. Because this straw doll uses the same principle, a flustered Daisuke dismisses her statement, saying that straw dolls are meant for Shinto or Buddhist prayers. It's different from linking. A quite eager Suzu prepares for a demonstration, causing him to bargain. Koton borrows the straw doll for a moment, asking Daisuke to concentrate. And with another snap she declares that his body was now linked into the little straw doll. He is the straw doll and the straw doll is him. As expected, Daisuke begins to mimic the straw doll's actions, causing the boy to panic. With an already open hand, Chiaki asks for her turn, and with a toss she cries out levitation magic. A blushing Daisuke quickly apologizes, Koton completely understanding. She was the one that hypnotized him after all. He barks at the twin-tailed magician. She can't just play with someone else's body. Before anything though, she reminds him that there's something he should say to her first. He thanks her very much. Suzu approaches Chiaki to get the straw doll back, but the pig-tailed girl wasn't ready to part with her toy yet. The two end up in a tug of war as a nervous Daisuke look on with horror, pleading for them to stop. An absolutely devastated Suzu yells, completely distressed. Making the straw doll took a lot of effort and time. Koton pleads to please show some concern for their fourth club member. He takes a look at his bruised stomach, noting that hypnotism sure is mysterious. The girls, looking quite horrified, keeps their mouth shut. They wouldn't know what Daisuke would feel if he found out that it might be something more supernatural. They decide that linking with a straw doll might be too dangerous, so they decide that linking with safer objects would be better. Eagerly, Koton presents an anatomical model, encouraging him to link with it. The boy looks on, horrified, remarking that they're going to drive him insane. An annoyed Chiaki wonders why on earth he's studying inside the club room. Daisuke retorts that it doesn't matter, it's not like they're doing anything anyway. He explains that he did bad on the last test, and if he does poorly again he'll be in a lot of trouble. Suzu chimes in, explaining that she studies the previous night before a test. While Koton explains that she concentrates during lessons so she doesn't need to study much at home. He begins to wonder, asking out loud what Chiaki does to prepare for tests. There are more important things than studying. She proclaims, hands on her hips, eyes as blank as her notebooks. She continues, explaining that she would rather fail than ruin her precious high school life by studying. He scolds her, explaining that failing will ruin her high school life. It just can't be helped. She used up all her skill points to max out her athletic parameter, so the rest of her stats had to be sacrificed. Suddenly an idea pops into her empty mind. She asks the chief if she has some sort of hypnotism technique that could help her. Regretfully, Koton replies that there isn't really a technique that could make her smarter. But there is one that might increase learning ability if they would want to try it. She begins to explain that because they hate studying they created a wall that stops their brain from absorbing the material. With this technique she intends to hypnotize them into removing that wall they created. She tells them to focus. In one breath, they must release the useless things inside their heart and mind. Breathe deeply, empty their body, so that it becomes a sponge for learning. Success. But it feels like they've lost something important. With their walls broken, the pair begins to enthusiastically start to study, Koton feeling quite glad that her hypnotism seemed to have worked. A cheerful Chiaki begins to study, finding it fun even though she can do it when she gets home. Suzu retorts, if she's gonna be like that then maybe she should just help her with her research. The pair suddenly stands up, surprising her. She then realizes that because they got rid of their walls, they'll listen to anything she says. The elated Suzu asks Koton if she could do this every time they have a test, which leads to the training hypnotist to remark that they haven't even studied at all yet. With a wide smile, Suzu brings out the cursed mask, excited to put it on them. Chiaki refuses, surprising the girl. Suzu can't believe it. There shouldn't be a wall, but Koton explains that self-defense is given priority, so they won't do things they hate or things that'll put them in danger. An irate Chiaki pinches her cheeks, scolding her for taking advantage of them while they were hypnotized. A panicking Suzu remarks that she'll just have to settle for Daisuke. And to their surprise, he's still ready and eager. An amused Chiaki chuckles, questioning if Daisuke will do anything she says. She then wonders out loud if he'll snap out of the trance if he's given some unreasonable request like running around campus naked. Immediately, the club erupts in chaos as the girls scream at him to put it back on. Koton snaps, realizing that it's time to undo it. An embarrassed Daisuke angrily points at Chiaki, scolding her for being such a pervert. Chiaki responds that she meant the command as a joke. How was she supposed to know he would actually do it? And she continues, explaining that the chief said that a person under hypnosis would instinctively reject anything they'd never want to do, and so that means that he is subconsciously willing to run around campus but naked. The girls take a step back, discovering something new about their new club member. While the embarrassed Daisuke tells them that they're all terrible,